Live from Schellenberger Field, you're watching LHSN, and we bring to you a presentation of some Friday night field hockey. The Lynchburg Hornets entering number 19 in the country, looking to extend a win streak up to 7 wins, trying to get the best of Eastern Mennonite University. The Royals coming 7-4 on the season, 0-1 in ODAC play. The Hornets, by the way, 2-0 in conference action, tied atop the ODAC conference standings. Thank you all for spending your Friday evening here with us on LHSN. TJ Wingert here to take you through tonight's broadcast. And here's some of the stats coming into tonight's action. Eastern Mennonite had a 5-game win streak carried into the month of October, but have suffered back-to-back tough losses. 7-1 defeat at the hands of CNU. Then in their most recent game, the loss in conference play, 11-0 to Shenandoah. Shenandoah, one of the two teams, tied with Lynchburg at the top of the ODAC. Meanwhile, Lynchburg, 6 consecutive wins, averaging more than 3 goals per contest and allowed just 1 goal over the last 3 games played. Simply put, EMU looking to bounce back, get back to their winning ways. Meanwhile, Lynchburg is looking to stay hot and continue to play really well on both sides of the field. Talk about some of our players to watch for tonight. Of course, for Lynchburg, it's got to be Jackie Laro. She's been stellar all year, coming off 3 goals and 2 assists their last time out. Goalkeeper tonight for EMU, Ann Golly, the junior from Aldie, Virginia, had a career-high 19 saves against Lynchburg in 2019. That came to a close against CNU, 26 saves in that one. Meanwhile, reigning ODAC Player of the Week, Kayla Brady, had 7 saves a couple games back and a 2-1 overtime win at Kenyon. Didn't face a single shot against Bridgewater. So it's a star-studded cast for tonight's duel between the Royals and the Hornets. We're excited to bring you this field hockey matchup on LHSN. Players are out onto the field, and it's the first time that Lynchburg has played here at Schellenberger Field. As it goes on the record and on the schedule, 3rd official home game, but the prior 2 home matches played over at the Liberty University Field Hockey Complex, both overtime wins against the likes of number 13 Ursinus and then number 18 Center. But now finally getting to play on the AstroTurf of Schellenberger Field. Good crowd starting to build up on the campus of University of Lynchburg. EMU opens with possession. Kicks it out to the near side. It's Courtney Crawford playing ahead for Elizabeth Longacre. Longacre looking for space, taken away by Emily Giannis for just a moment. Giannis had 2 goals against Bridgewater. That was a big 6-0 victory for Lynchburg to improve to 2-0 in conference play. EMU possession will start with Brady Troutman. Gets past Giannis, flicks it forward, picked off by Brittany Clayball. Lays it off for the aforementioned Giannis. But Troutman there to get her stick down and poke it loose. Tries to clear. It's called a dangerous ball. Clayball will start the possession off the restart. And as that pass immediately taken away by Crawford. It's the 2 teams battling for possession early on. When these 2 sides met last year, it's a 3-0 win for Lynchburg. And the Royals looking to strike and find a goal for the first time against Lynchburg since 2016. And EMU has not beaten Lynchburg since well beyond 2010. But tonight looking to turn that around and score a big win against a team towards the top of the conference standings. Royals just outside the attacking third. Riley Cameron gets a stick down and forces EMU to reset. Jackie Laro creates the turnover, and Laro can do so much just by herself. Even numbers advantage. Right behind her is Giannis. Laro weaving through the middle of the field. Gets past the keeper. Team save. What a fantastic play from what looked like Kate Landis. Here's another look at it. I mean, Laro nearly goes the length of the field to get it done by herself. And instead of Landis, it's actually Troutman getting that stick up, deflecting away, goes across the end line. So it's our first penalty corner on the night. Emma Strauss will have the honors to insert. But what a fantastic play there for Troutman. Played in all 8 games last year and started all 18 in 2019. Sent up towards the top of the circle. Laro plays it over to Giannis. Ball still live. Finds the stick of Emily Dudley and deflected out across the end line. They'll say last touch by EMU. So yet another PC coming for Lynchburg. So coming off the shot, deflected off the stick of Emily Dudley. Strauss will again start the penalty corner chance. Gives to Giannis. Plays it over to Laro. One more time. It's Dudley on the far side. Chipped up just in front of the net. Finds the stick of a few different players. Whistle is blown, ending the run for Lynchburg. EMU tries to play it quick. Long ball ahead, goes out, across the sideline. So again, possession will stay with the Hornets, and to start the possession is Erin Boatwright, a tremendous sophomore from Fredericksburg, Virginia, goal and an assist at Bridgewater. And she does it at all 3 levels. She's a defensive wall and has been a big part of the defense that has only allowed 1 goal over the last 3 games for Lynchburg. Meanwhile, she's also scrappy in the midfield, will win possession over and over again for Lynchburg. Hear me call her name a lot in and around the midfield, but as stated, goal and assist against Bridgewater, she gets in the mix on the offensive end. 3 goals, 3 assists overall in the season. Cameron lets it fly, sends it towards Romero. It goes past Casa Romero, picked up by Dudley. She'll whack it towards Laro, defended by Troutman. Laro now trying to find space against Cassidy Armstrong. After the foul, Lynchburg plays it quick. Trying to play the advantage. Pass. Sneaks past both Kaylee Truitt and Brittany Claybaugh. And another foul. This one goes against EMU, so 3rd penalty quarter already. And we're not even a full 4 minutes into the first quarter. Big early time of possession advantage for the Hornets. Strauss will insert the top of the circle. It's Dudley, Laro, and Romero. Pass goes all the way out to Laro. She gets just inside the semicircle. Nearly has it chipped up and deflected towards net by Giannis, but looks to be ruled a dangerous ball. Royals come away with another defensive stop and take over on the offensive side. So as mentioned, the last 2 games for EMU, losing to CNU and Shenandoah by a combined score 18-1. Overall in the season, 1-2 win on the road. Possession already back with Lynchburg. Dudley finds Laro. First touch betrays her. Off the stick it goes. Picked up by Armstrong. A really nice clear coming from the sophomore from Culpeper, Virginia, Armstrong. 8 games played, 6 starts last season. Had a goal and 2 assists earlier in the year in a game against Hood. Romero wanted Dudley, passed a little too wide. Really fun connection between these 2 teams on the sideline. Start by talking about Lynchburg, 43-year head coach Enza Steele. Not much more needs to be said about Coach Steele. If you're familiar with Lynchburg or the ODAC in general, she's a legend, simply put. Already in the NFHCA Hall of Fame, 2020 inductee, 625 wins to 235 losses, also 11 ties. Second most wins among active D3 coaches. And on the other side, though, Ashley Kishorn in her 4th season at the helm of EMU and a former assistant coach here at Lynchburg after she played 4 years at Salisbury University and a part of the 2009 National Championship winning team. Just outside the attacking third. Clay ball. Looking for a redeflect inside the circle. No one's there to answer the door. Armstrong plays it out to the far sideline. EMU with just one reserve tonight, not including the 2 backup goalkeepers. So EMU is a little thin in regards to players to move out onto the field. We'll see how that might affect their strategy. Might see them do something where we're seeing it right now. No players, but now 2, make it 3, beyond their defensive third line. You might see EMU just try to pack it in, play a very defensive-minded game, and then when they have chances, after absorbing a big Lynchburg attack, pushing back the other direction where they might have a 1-on-1, 1-on-2, 2-on-1, something thereabout. This is a team that's short on reserves, therefore they cannot move up and down the field like Lynchburg is at will early on in this one. Laro plays it quick off the advantage. Chips it up. Deflected a couple times by both teams, number 24. Brandy Troutman for EMU and Emily Giannis for Lynchburg. Whistle blown. Penalty corner number 4 on the way for Lynchburg. Lynchburg came in the day with 84 penalty corners on the season, averaging just under 17 shots per game as well. This offense is explosive to say the least. Strauss will insert again, but this time from the far side. And now it's Giannis, Laro, and Dudley, the very top of the circle. Pass goes to Truitt, who lets it fly. The save made by Golly, then kicked away on a rebound chance. Ball still live. Yet another save coming from Golly. Lands at the feet of Giannis. Takes another shot. Deflected up by EMU. And out of play it goes. Whistle's blown. Unsure if there was a foul in there. Maybe off the deflection they called dangerous ball. But nonetheless, the possession is over for Lynchburg. EMU looking to build and have any sort of sustained run in the other direction. Ashley Molinado tried to play it out to the far sideline. Pass immediately taken away. Lynchburg already trying to send it towards the shooting circle. Out across the end line it goes. Landis. Will begin the EMU possession. Long pass ahead in the direction of Molinado, a sophomore from Warrenton, Virginia. 3 goals, 1 assist. She started all 12 games now for EMU. Off the foot of a Royal defender, Molinado. So now Romero kicks it to Dudley. Looking middle of the circle. Kaylee Truitt able to get behind Golly. Gets back up, comes away with the arm save. But a whistle blown. And another penalty corner on the way for Lynchburg. 5th already on the night, and it's a 10-0 shot advantage for the Hornets. Doesn't get much more one-sided than that. Here's another look at the loose ball scrum. Looks like it might have gone off the body of Landis. But nonetheless, yet another scoring chance for Lynchburg. And you're happy to have a number of opportunities and controlling time of possession, but eventually it has to translate into scores. Let's see if the Hornets can do it here. Mark over to Laro. One more time. Now with Dudley. Sent towards net. Gets behind the foot of Golly, and Brittany Clayball just had it. Actually, make that Emma Strauss. Just barely had the ball hopping over her stick. Otherwise, if she's able to make contact, that's an easy goal for the grad student from Dillsburg, Pennsylvania. Instead, Lynchburg right on the fringe of the attacking third. Send it back to Madison Mark, freshman who's gotten heavy dosage of playing time early on this season for Lynchburg. Now started all 11 games. Needed to Mechanicsburg, Virginia. Romero with a spin move, looking for separation, draws the attention of 3 separate Royals defenders. Still keeps it alive. Now passes towards the net. A little wide, no one in the immediate vicinity. And once again, EMU is going to try to either build from the back line or clear. Up to this point, it's been nothing but clears trying to go out towards midfield. And that's a big reason why these possessions have not lasted very long. And Emilianis doesn't help EMU by any stretch of the imagination. Lero penetrates inside the circle, now pulls back. Golly able to deflect the pass, just finds herself in the right position. Cuts off the passing lane for Lero. Golly on the season, 3.01 goal against average, save percentage at 73.7%. And the lone sub that EMU has, Libby Durstein, has checked in. She comes on for Courtney Crawford. Giannis creates some space. It's now with Lero, and the grad student has it poked away. Jackie Lero leads the Hornets in both goals and assists. 7 goals, 9 assists. Started all 11 games, of course. First team All-ODAC last year and in 2019. And she might be the intended target on another penalty corner coming for Lynchburg. Usual suspects line up. Strauss will insert. Sends it deep all the way to Lero. Strauss takes the shot. Deflected away by Golly. Another save. Out the attacking third line, Aaron Boatwright will resume play. Trying to find Emilianis. The two not on the same page. Pass just a little wide. Clear finds the stick of Brittany Claybaugh. Picked up by Strauss, working against opposing number 7, Elizabeth Longacre. Kessa Romero, junior from Virginia. Navigates into the circle. Golly slides ahead. Golly's been super aggressive. Anytime there's been someone for Lynchburg to get in the attacking third, Golly's going to go out there and cut off the angles, play big, make it tough to get by her. 3:06 left in the first quarter. There's the shot from Strauss. And time has come to a momentary pause. So our officials are reviewing the last play. And they're going to have, and Golly check out of the game, and coming in now is Marie Wilson. Freshman from Virginia, played in each of the last 2 games. And it'll be a penalty stroke for Jackie Lero. Chance for the Pennsylvania native to net the 8th goal in the season. She'll go against the backup keeper, Wilson. Lero misses wide left. What a break for EMU. Wilson will come out, and Golly back out onto the field. They had to reset the clock. Now back to 3:03 remaining in the first quarter. There you see Golly checking back in. 70 saves on the season. She started all 12 games for EMU. Wilson, meanwhile, can now say she's played in 7 matches this season. Romero navigates inside the semicircle. Tried to center it up for Giannis. Giannis just couldn't make contact. It's out across the sideline it goes. And once again, we see EMU trying to build from the back line. Pass immediately taken away by Emily Giannis. Giannis, a junior from New Jersey. Started the year not in the starting lineup, but now has made her 6th consecutive appearance in the starting 11. Riley Cameron takes the deep pass away, carries it across midfield, parlays it over to Strauss. One of the few times we see Lynchburg have to set up in their own side of the field. Not necessarily the best pass from Strauss moving ahead. Slow roller lands at the stick of Ashley Molinado. EMU looking to build up, and they're at midfield. Haven't seen that a whole lot either tonight. So maybe the field position game being reversed a little bit. Jackie Laro scrapping with Elena Fiden. Now it's Fiden versus Romero. After the whistle, playing the advantage. Romero inside the semicircle. Kicked away by Golly. Bo Wright, the first one of the loose ball. Trying to get to the sideline. Now worked back towards the middle of the field. Trying to center it up. Dudley was in the vicinity, as was Jackie Laro. And you can see the early emphasis for Lynchburg, and really it's a common strategy across field hockey if you're new to the sport. Try to work inside the circle, play it just in front of the net, and hope to get a stick down. Those last-second redirects are just nearly impossible for any keeper to come away with a stop. Under 50 seconds left in the first quarter. 16-0 shot advantage, but we remain scoreless. Dudley looking to change that. Clayball takes the shot. Golly, able to get that left hand on it, pops it up and out of play. Another big stop coming from the junior. Still some time for Lynchburg to steal a score in the first quarter. Strauss for Romero. Second defender comes. Works right to left. Miss hit as she looks to find a teammate inside the shooting circle. And the final seconds of the first quarter will wind off the clock. And despite a very dominant showing early on in regards to time of possession, Lynchburg still tied up with EMU. Scoreless after the first quarter. We'll step aside and come back with the second quarter of action between the Royals and the Hornets coming to you on LHSN.
Never think that your donation is in vain, because you're helping out hundreds of students that are just like me, who need a shot and who are getting one. Without donations, without you individuals that are helping to donate to the university and the Lynchburg Fund, there would be no student body president, Davion Washington. There'd probably be I'm stuck at home, Davion Washington. Not only is your donation building leaders, but it's building leaders like myself and others that will hopefully want to pay it forward one day and do the same thing. I know for a fact that, when I have it, because I will, I want to give back to this university that provided me a home for 4 years.
When you come to the University of Lynchburg to earn a master's degree in athletic training, you'll spend time in the classroom, but you'll also spend a lot of time in our top-notch facilities learning from athletic trainers and working closely with our student athletes. In the Graduate Cadaver Lab, you'll learn about the human body in the best way possible, by actually studying the human body. This will provide a foundation to make you a much better athletic trainer. In the Athletic Training Laboratory, you'll get hands-on experience, practicing your skills, applying concepts from the classroom, and working with faculty on research projects. It's also where our hydrotherapy facilities are. This space is also used by students for studying and practicing skills outside of class time. In the Sports Medicine Clinic and Turner Gymnasium, you'll work with student athletes from more than 20 NCAA Division III sports teams, helping get them back to practice and into the game as soon as possible. As an athletic training student, you're a big part of the success of our sports teams and the success of the local athletic teams. We see this relationship as a win-win situation. You learn, and that helps us win. Coming to you live from the University of Lynchburg after a scoreless first quarter.
Eastern Mennonite and Lynchburg back out onto the field. Here's some of the highlights from that first quarter, and standing out very tall is the junior from Oldie, Virginia, Ann Golly. Racking up the saves early on, faced 17 shots in that first quarter. And already 7 saves for Golly. So keep in mind, her career high coming into this season was 19 against Lynchburg coming in the year 2019. She then broke that mark against CNU. And despite losing that game 7-1, save percentage at 82% and 26 saves for Golly. A phenomenal performance despite allowing 7 goals as a team. She didn't give up all 7. Struggled a little bit more in her last game, though, against Shenandoah, one of the best teams inside the ODAC. 11-0 final score there. Not all 11 being surrendered by Golly, but just a save percentage at 38.5% against Shenandoah. Loose ball gathered by Fiden, then taken right back by Romero. But a positive sign if you're an EMU fan, seeing the Royals work in positive territory. It's a step in the right direction. Time of possession was just one-sided as one-sided can get in that first quarter. And it wasn't just Lynchburg almost exclusively working in positive territory against the Royals, working a lot inside the shooting circle. Franca Veranek is out there to start the second quarter. She applies some pressure along with Emily Yanis. The foul goes against the Hornets, and the clear attempt from Troutman going to be called back, and they're going to have EMU do that once more. So Lynchburg comes to the day ranked number 19 in the country. Preseason rankings, they were the 13th team in the preseason coaches poll. But got out to a 1-3 start to the season. Lost the season opener at Dickinson. Bounced back with a 5-0 win against Lebanon Valley. Then dropped tough contests against Johns Hopkins and Keene, 2 teams in the top 5 as of right now. But since then, this team has found its stride, knocking off ranked Ursinus, ranked Center. 3-1 win at Roanoke to start conference play. 3-0 win at Denison. 2-1 overtime win against Kenyon. This ball's still live. Inside the shooting circle, Giannis just misses wide left. It gets closer and closer with every run for Lynchburg. I can continue my point most recently, 6-0 win over the Bridgewater Eagles for this Lynchburg team. And it is hard to believe that ball did not find the back of the cage just a moment ago. Kaylee Truitt bowls over defender Keely Mitchell. Gives back to Strauss. Sends the direction of Veranek, who can't get her stick down. Freshman has been really impressive this year, hailing from Germany. 6 game played for Veranek, 3 goals on the year. Brittany Clayball works against Crawford. Trying to beat her defender towards the sideline. Navigates through traffic. Now poked away by EMU. It's picked up by Longacre. Goes off the body of a Lynchburg defender. Crawford picks it up. Clayball, well defended. The stick is down. Wins possession at least for a moment. Swings it over to Truitt. Plenty of real estate in front of her. Now picked up by the defender, Mitchell. Foul goes against Eastern Mennonite. Casa Romero off the restart. The junior does just a little bit of everything for Lynchburg. Does a fantastic job in a lot of ways. The point guard for the offense, where especially off of restarts and things of that nature, she'll carry it forward and have the offense begin at her fingertips, if you will. And now another penalty corner. Lynchburg had their fair share of these set-piece opportunities in the first quarter. This would be the 7th on the night for Lynchburg, the first to come in the second quarter. Emma Strauss continues to insert. Sends it to Laro. One touch right to Romero. And the pass goes back to Strauss. You've seen Lynchburg do that a couple times now. Send it back towards Strauss after inserting it. Sometimes it's tough for a defense. You forget about the player that starts up the PC, and they are just sometimes left with a ton of space standing right across from the cage. But EMU, as the game's gone on, starting to pick up on that more and more. Strauss had very limited space on that last attempt. Turned over by Elizabeth Longacre. Whistle this time goes against the Hornets. Hard cut from Troutman. Sent over towards Morgan Leslie, our EMU player to watch coming into tonight's action, a freshman from Louisa, Virginia. 10 goals on 24 shots. I'd say that's a pretty efficient clip. Hard stick contact. Golly comes out and kicks it loose. Well, considering Kayla Brady is the reigning ODAC Player of the Week, she might have been the keeper you were thinking about. But an absolute missile finally gets Lynchburg on the board, and they finally get the best of Golly. Hornets strike first. Here's another look. Madison Mark carried it into the circle and let it fly. First collegiate goal for Madison Mark. And on shot number 20, with 9 minutes and 40 seconds left in the first half, Lynchburg breaks through and takes the 1-0 advantage. Can EMU respond? Leslie laid it back. Possession quickly over. The pass from Fiden goes across the far sideline. Skylar Dice just checked in for Lynchburg. 11th game played on the season for the sophomore from Pennsylvania. Off the restart, Fiden sent it towards Skylar Hedgepath, senior from Smithfield, Virginia. Hornets already working back in the other direction. Veronek can't create space against Libby Durstein. Durstein brings it across midfield. Now fighting with Boatwright. Sticks get tangled. Boatwright will start the Lynchburg run. Truitt finds the stick of Romero. Lero a step away from being able to get towards the ball on cage. Now looking for Dudley. Golly there to make the stop. Brittany Clayball was the first player to the loose ball, and after the foul was called, Clayball over to Strauss, now back to Boatwright. Swing and a miss from Boatwright. She'll try once more. Clayball dribbles right. Got past the first two defenders, but the third, too much for the senior to overcome. Errant pass ends the chance for Lynchburg. Just over 7 minutes left until halftime. Possession immediately already back with the Hornets. Dudley, big cut. And luckily enough, the hack avoids the body of Troutman. EMU called for a foul on the play, however. So yet another penalty corner coming for your Hornets. Strauss feeds Giannis. Junior takes the rip. Might have been deflected a few times, but ultimately misses wide left. Troutman, a senior from Mountville, Pennsylvania. Swings hard, but has it immediately taken away by Aaron Boatwright. Lands at the feet of Laro. Missile sent right to Emily Dudley. Might have hit off the body of Dudley. She looks like she's okay. She's up and walking, and EMU's going to have possession once again. Laro with no reservation on that shot. Fortunately enough, looked like Dudley was able to get her stick on it as opposed to her body, because that, I promise you, would not have felt comfortable. Claybaugh lets it fly. Kicked away by Gali. Giannis picks it up. Contact comes from a Royal defender. And yet another penalty corner on the way. Here's that last shot from Jackie Laro. And Dudley goes down. Again, I don't know if that was from the pass from Laro or some other contact. Good to see Dudley is okay. Strauss to Giannis. Had 2 goals against Bridgewater. Over to Laro. Other grad student is Emily Dudley. Rolling it just in front of the cage. Boatwright out. Stretch stick. Can't make contact. The Royals come away with yet another big stand. 28 shots for Lynchburg. None for EMU. The Royals defense has worked wonders and gotten some luck, but overall done a tremendous job keeping themselves just 1 goal down. That goal coming from Madison Mark. She just carried it forward. No one picked her up. Let it fly. That was her first shot on the season, and now she's 1 for 1 shot to goal conversion rate. Next time a sub can come in for Lynchburg, we'll see Sarah McCollum enter the contest. Less than 5 minutes left in the first half. One of the best clears we've seen from EMU all night long. It hops over the stick of Cameron and rolls all the way towards the back line. First time Kayla Brady has seen anything come that close to her cage. McCollum comes on. And Laro will take a breather. Dudley tries to play it off the restart. They'll send Lynchburg back. Hornets will have to build the old-fashioned way instead of playing it quick on the advantage. Riley Cameron in a big spot this season, the sophomore, playing that center back role, started all 11 games. Pass off the mark, maybe some miscommunication between Cameron and Madison Mark. McCollum looking to pick up the loose ball. Working against Armstrong. McCollum brings it into the attacking third. Lays it ahead. Martha Chapese just couldn't keep her balance. Cleared away by EMU. Orioles take over. Chapese, another one of those subs you'll see frequently, check in and out of the game, and a regular to at least make one appearance throughout a match. 7th game played. Couple shots for the junior. Pass taken away by Mark. Will she do it again? Answers no, trying to set up a teammate. And ultimately, Mark sets up yet another penalty corner chance. And if you're Lynchburg, these penalty corners have eventually got to translate into an actual score. Especially considering we're in a spot where EMU, if they come through with one breakaway opportunity, especially on these set pieces, Lynchburg is sending so many numbers forward. If EMU can connect on a couple passes back the other direction, they might be able to get the Hornets sleeping, or at least before they can reset the defense. And then ultimately you're looking at a spot where EMU could find the equalizer. So these penalty corners are crucial. Dudley to Strauss. takes the shot, and yet another stop made by Eastern Mennonite on the defensive end. Durstein will check back in. She comes on for Crawford just as she did in the first quarter. Pass from the Royals off the mark. Boat right ahead for Dudley. Kicked over to Clayball. Touched ahead. McCullum tried to center it for Giannis. The attack from Lynchburg tonight has been relentless, just peppering the cage in the area right in front of Angali. But if you're a Royals fan, fortunately enough, just one score on the board. If you're a Hornets fan, you have to feel a little frustrated. 29 shots, only one goal so far. And despite a large quantity, there's also been a great amount of quality. And a majority of those chances, just so far, feels like there's some saran wrap or something blocking up the cage, preventing more of these shots for Lynchburg from finding home. McCullum battling with Durstein. Over to Clayball, taken away by EMU. Good clear ahead, goes all the way back to Cameron. Cameron will reverse fields. Feeds Mark. Closest defender is Elizabeth Longacre. Chipazy. One more time ahead, it's Giannis. Giannis now operating on the far side. Beats a defender. McCullum in the area. Loose ball, chipped away by Troutman. Just outside the semicircle. Whistle's blown. It goes against Eastern Mennonite. Less than a minute to go in the first half. Strauss for Dudley. Trying to go against the quote-unquote glove side. Really, it's just the left-hand pad side for Galley. Clear sent right to Mark. We'll say that it hit the foot of the freshman. Stays with EMU. Good clear comes from Dudley. Sends Eastern Mennonite retreating all the way back towards the end line. And with just 5 seconds left in the first half, this will ultimately bring a close to the first 30 minutes of play between Lynchburg and Eastern Mennonite. 1-0 lead for the Hornets on LHSN. Don't go anywhere. We're going to recap the first half during our halftime segment, so don't go anywhere. More between Lynchburg and Eastern Mennonite coming to you on LHSN.
I was looking for a school that could provide me with the athletics, academics to pursue my career, a wind symphony to pursue my passion for music, and really have a nice general atmosphere. The professors here are really unique, their background and their passion for teaching. It's really a place where you can explore. Lynchburg gives you the opportunity to fail, but also get back up in that period of time and learn from your mistakes. I can make these mistakes within the school environment, but also with the support of other friends, and be ready for the real world when you graduate.
Welcome back to the University of Lynchburg. Halftime between the Hornets and the Eastern Mennonite Royals. Your score, 1-0. Thanks for spending your Friday evening here with us. TJ Wingert on the headset. And overall first half dominated by the Hornets. You'll see it here with some of these stats. These were the numbers coming in today. But overall, after the first 30 minutes of play, 30 shots for Lynchburg, none for Eastern Mennonite. And that has translated to 11 team saves for the Royals, and Caleb Brady on the other side hasn't faced a shot, therefore no saves on the day. And both teams as it stands right now with no fouls. The goal coming from Madison Mark, her first shot and first collegiate goal on the year. Leading the way in the shot department, 8 already taken by Emily Giannis, 6 from Kessa Romero, then 4 from Dudley and Clayball. And 2 so far for Emma Strauss, 3 for Jackie Lair on the other side. Of course, as mentioned, no shots. All 11 saves as of right now are credited to Ann Galley. Marie Wilson, the backup keeper for Eastern Mennonite, did check into the match to take on a penalty stroke against Jackie Lara-Bolero, missing wide left. And there you see the halftime stats. It is one-sided, but the score doesn't necessarily reflect it, and that's the area in the department where it matters the most. It's just 1-0, and the Hornets going to look to build upon more of what they had working for them in the first half. Meanwhile, EMU, you have to feel happy with where you're at, only down by a score, despite all the staggering stats that the Hornets have piled up throughout this one. We'll take a pause, come back, show you some highlights from the first half, so don't go anywhere. More between Lynchburg and Eastern Mennonite coming to you on LHSN.
Because of the way it treated its students. They really do make an effort here. And I've learned that over my 4 years is that they actually do try to listen to what the student body wants, and they try to act on that. They don't really just give you a piece of paper here to go off and do your own thing. They actually prepare you to work with different populations, which is what the world is all about. It's just working with people that are different than you. They genuinely care that everyone has the ability to go off into the world and make a difference with whatever they like. For me, that's just being basically in a room with someone helping them achieve their first goal of, doing a pull-up. I actually do believe they want you to do the best you can to change someone's life for the better. You can be anyone here, which I think is really cool. But regardless of who you are here, they will make sure you don't fall through the cracks, which is awesome. I have realized that I've never felt lost here. I will not regret ever coming here, that's for sure. So I'm very glad that I came here. Yeah, it's actually pretty awesome.
If you like being close with your professors, if you like being in small classes that help with one-on-one, if you like being in positive communities that help you train your weak points and strengthen your strong points, then the University of Lynchburg is a great place to go. You can never go wrong with the amount of help that they offer, the amount of self-sacrifice that other people will put in for you. It has a beautiful campus, it has dedicated teachers, it has nice students, it has fun activities, and it has plenty of things to do.
rough day. Jess and I are officially on a break. The couple canoe has broken up.
How you feeling?
Living the dream.
Just canoeing. That's the Mexican side behind me. The U.S. is that way.
So far, we're all still alive.
I really want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Woo! We did it! Kind of.
1-0 your score. Field hockey action coming to you on LHSN. Lynchburg playing host to Eastern Mennonite. Hornets ahead of the Royals, as mentioned, 1-0. Here are some of the replays from the first half. You'll see a whole lot of number 99 for EMU and Galley coming through with the 11 saves against the 12 shots on goal. She faced 30 shots overall for Lynchburg. And here is the goal from Madison Mark, as mentioned in the last segment. First collegiate shot and first collegiate goal on her college career, a freshman coming from Mechanicsburg, Virginia. And overall, a very one-sided affair. Lynchburg looking to keep it that way, but just try to convert more on those looks. There's been plenty of close chances for both Strauss and Emily Giannis at a few occasions where it felt like it was destined to be her goal to be had, but EMU found a way to come away with a big stop. We'll take one more pause, come back with the second half of action between Eastern Mennonite and Lynchburg, all on LHSN.
The biggest thing that I've taken from Westover is probably my interactions with faculty. I started working with Dr. Fryer. He's always available for help, and he makes sure that I get to do the experiments and not just be there while he does them. I didn't want to limit myself when I came here to just taking the prereqs for med school. I wanted to get a full, well-rounded education, and I definitely found that in the Westover program. It's given me the opportunity to keep playing soccer at a competitive level, but also it's given me the ability to be a student and to pursue other activities such as EMS. "100% do Westover because it's not something they're going to regret, and it's going to be a lot of work, but so is everything else. It's just going to help build their education that they've already had and make them a better person for it."
Set for the second half of play between Lynchburg and Eastern Mennonite. Hornets open with possession, and they dominated in that category in the opening set of 30 minutes, and Jackie Lara ready to go as soon as the whistle was blown. Truitt gives back to the grad player. Lara looking for space. Gets inside the shooting circle and earns yet another penalty corner for Lynchburg. Clock stops at 14:44. 11th PC on the night for the Hornets. Strauss to the end line. It's Truitt, Dudley, and Laro at the top of the circle. They'll play it all the way back to Laro. Kicked over to Romero. Beats one defender. Trying to beat a second. Working to her right. Shot. Made it to the back of the net, but is called off. The whistle blown. And it goes against Lynchburg, and coming up gimpy on the play is Kessa Romero. That could be a big injury there for the Hornets. Would have been a goal for Romero. Instead, hitting the turf. She's able to walk off, but she's doing so with very evident limp. So Romero out. In for her comes the freshman from Glen Allen, Riley Weinfordner. Weinfordner playing in her 7th game. She had 3 starts to open the season. EMU going to try to build through Longacre. Sophomore can't find any room against Truitt. Riley Cameron, patient, goes back to Madison Mark. Mark can't connect with Truitt. Dudley tries to center it, and it was honestly a really nice pass, but it just evaded the sticks of both Giannis and Laro. And that just feels like a common theme we've seen all night for Lynchburg on the offensive side. They've had possession. They've dominated in that category, and 30 shots to none for EMU would suggest that. 11 corners to none would do just the same as well, but it just feels like every single cross towards the middle of the semicircle or a shot or a redeflect is a beat off, whether it's a player a step away or the stick is just an inch or two away from being able to get that redirect or a myriad of different other potential causalities. Lynchburg has just been an inch or two away, so close from really blowing the gates open. Still up 1-0, but at this point, it feels like a game that has a much wider differential than just the one goal. Lynchburg going to look to turn that around throughout the rest of the second half. Offense for Lynchburg will build up on the near side. Mark, 2 defenders in front of her. Over to Cameron. Mishandles the pass. Now finds wide Fordner. A lot of greenery in front of her. Pauses. Kicks over to Truitt. Defended by Longacre. Ball's popped up, hits off the leg of Longacre, and trying to play the advantage. Another whistle blown, and this time the possession comes to a close. Good clear coming from Eastern Mennonite, rolled all the way out to Coach Karen Mann. Coach Mann works with the goalkeepers, and despite not having to see a whole lot of Kayla Brady, this is a similar situation she found herself in at Bridgewater. Did not face a single shot in that match against the Eagles. Before that, though, came through in a big way in a 2-1 overtime win at Kenyon. That's what earned her the ODAC Player of the Week honors. And right before that, got to see her working out on Schellenberger Field, one-on-one with Coach Mann, just trying to refine some of those clearing skills, takeaways, the hand-stick coordination, if you want to call it such. But obviously the work with Coach Mann paid off. Gets the weekly accolade, gets the 7 saves against Kenyon, and then a shutout against Bridgewater, and in position to potentially notch her 3rd shutout on the season if the score were to stand as it is right now. Cameron creates the turnover. Crawford's the closest defender for EMU. Nice pass from Giannis. Has Laro. The speedy Laro beats a defender. Stops, starts once again. Creates space. Navigating along the end line. Draws some contact. And a penalty corner number 12 now on the night for Lynchburg. Hornets looking to extend their win streak up to 7. Are in position to do so tonight, but a little bit of breathing room would go a long way. Less than 11 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Strauss at the end line. On the far side, it's Emily Giannis, top of the circle. Riley Weinfordner, Jackie Laro, and Emily Dudley. Off to their right is Aaron Boatwright. And all the way on the near side is Brittany Clayball. Insert goes out to Laro. She'll let Dudley take a mighty hack, but grad student from Maryland missing wide left of the cage. Shot number 31 for Lynchburg. Troutman takes a hack, trying to clear, picked up by Strauss. And some teams will try to go aerial in those situations just to try to avoid what you just saw, that clear attempt that immediately finds the stick of the other team. Or even if it finds someone that is on your team, a lot of times it can come in scorching hot, and that first touch can bounce in any sort of direction. So instead, you go aerial and you clear it all the way back to the opposing team's back line. But that has not been used yet tonight. for either team. Kicked away by Golly. Foul goes against Lynchburg just as they entered the attacking third. EMU's going to try build from the back line once again. Looks like a win off the body of Crawford, and that appears to be the call. Mark's pass intended for Dudley, but picked off by EMU. Ahead with good pace, this is Skylar Hedgepeth. Played and started all 8 games last season and all 18 games in 2019. Has 8 goals, 13 assists on the season. Made her 12th start of the year tonight. Fighting tried to play towards the near side. There was no one there, but 43-year head coach ends a steal. So possession back with the Hornets. Deflected off the stick of Clayball. Picked up by Mitchell. Eastern Mennonite working on the far side. Pass ahead for Crawford, off the mark and gathered instead by Aaron Boatwright. But Boatwright can't get past Troutman. Troutman patient, hits the brakes and tries to connect with Longacre. The pass just a little too hot for the sophomore to handle. Longacre, 9 goals, 2 assists on the year. She had 5 of those 9 goals in the season opener against Lancaster Bible. Libby Durstein checks back in the game for Eastern Mennonite, coming in for Courtney Crawford. And as the substitution unfolds, we have yet another penalty corner coming for the Hornets. Just under 8 minutes left in the third quarter. You see the sideline, 4th-year head coach Ashley Kishorn. After leaving Lynchburg, was an assistant coach at Williams College, then named the head coach at Eastern Mennonite. Kishorn, the replacement to E.A. Jackson, who is now the head coach at Towson. Insert comes from the near side. Shot from Mark. Sent right towards the stomach of Galley. And yet another save for the junior. Might not actually go down as a save. Instead, maybe a dangerous ball. Clear attempt. Goes right to Clayball. On the edge of the semicircle. Tries to center it. A little behind Giannis, a little ahead of Weinfordner. So the cross goes harmlessly across the far sideline. First time tonight we've seen EMU, instead of going for the immediate clear, Troutman tries to dribble through the Lynchburg defense, draws some contact, and now at least a little bit of breathing room for the Royals. And now we'll let it fly. Picked up by Molinado. Now it's Longacre. Royals inside the attacking third for the first time tonight. Morgan Leslie was looking for any sort of space she could find. EMU looking to snap a 2-game skid where they've been outscored 18-1 by CNU and Shenandoah, and finally saw him in the attacking third. Didn't last but a few fleeting moments. Back comes Lynchburg. Dudley rips it towards the shins of Galley. Picked up by Laro. Sent back. Shot. Finds home. Brittany Clayball finds goal number 3 of the year. So Clayball with the score. The assist comes from Laro. 10th assist of the year for Jackie Laro. 3rd goal of the season from Brittany Clayball. And Lynchburg now has that insurance, leading 2-0. With just over 6 minutes left in the third quarter. Libby Durstein back towards the sideline for Eastern Mennonite. Courtney Crawford comes back in her place. Lynchburg keeping the pedal down. Laro plays the advantage. Gets past Crawford. Shot and score. Laro does what Jackie Laro does best. 8th goal of the season for Laro, coming off 3 goals and 2 assists against Bridgewater. She's got 1 of each tonight against Eastern Mennonite. And in the snap of a finger, it goes from 1-0 up to 3-0. And now Lynchburg firmly in the driver's seat. Emily Dudley will check out, and Franca Veranek on for Dudley. EMU looking for a response. Armstrong plays it out to the far sideline. Pass ahead for Leslie, immediately taken away by Weinfordner. Strauss kicks it over to Mark. Off the stick of Hedgepeth. Back to Longacre, now fighting with Mark for possession. Freshman for Lynchburg comes away with it. Ahead for Clayball. Inside the circle. Takes the shot. Finds Veranek, who makes contact twice but can't push it into the cage. Another close scoring opportunity for Lynchburg. Already poured on 2 more goals here in the third quarter and stretched their lead up to 3-0. Strauss wins possession from Longacre. Long pass rolls safely across the end line. Looked like a pass intended for Brooke Highland, 8th game played for the sophomore from New Jersey. Longacre gives chase. Won't be able to cover the necessary ground for the Royals. But it shifts the field of play a ton. EMU with possession. Right at the attacking third line. Elena Fiden. Native to Chesapeake, Virginia. Goal and an assist earlier this season against Southern Virginia. That was a lopsided victory for Eastern Mennonite. 10-0 score over the Knights. Not necessarily the hardest hit ball from Highland, but able to center it up for Laro, who tried to feed Giannis. Giannis had the most shots of any Hornet in the first half. Weinfordner looks to play it up that far sideline. Deflected out by a Royals defender. Weinfordner tries once again. This time kicks towards the middle of the field. Lynchburg will give to Riley Cameron. Now Madison Mark with it. Looking to build from the back line and taken away by Hedgepeth. Looking for Longacre. Emma Strauss comes in from behind, pokes it loose, boat right, gives to Weinfordner. Long ball ahead. Handled well by Veranek. Trying to get a step on her defender, Armstrong. Instead, forced to hit the brakes and try to reset. Tried to cross. The whistle was blown. Now Veranek working against Crawford. Whistle blown once more. It'll go against Lynchburg. Just over 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Cassidy Armstrong's a sophomore from Culpeper, Virginia. 1 goal, 3 assists. Started all 12 games. It's now with Crawford. Freshman from Washington, D.C. Feeds back to Armstrong. Can't handle the pass. She'll reverse field. Giannis gets a stick on it. Redeflects the pass. Storming in. Troutman had to do a whole lot to keep Laro away from that. Playing it off the restart. Troutman carries into positive territory. Has Leslie in front of her. inside the attacking third, takes the hack, redeflected off a stick and out of play across the end line. Some discussion as to who will be awarded possession. It'll go to EMU. Fighton carries back. Troutman will be called for the dangerous ball. Lynchburg's going to push numbers down the field less than a minute in the third quarter. Chance to add on a potential third goal of this third quarter. Now EMU with the chance to apply a little bit of a press just across the end line. Say Cameron carried it out of play. Crawford leaves the pass just in front of Molinado. Dudley booms it out. Loose ball is picked up by Jenna Tangiers, sophomore from Bel Air, Maryland. First time calling her name tonight. Tangiers in her fourth game played on the season. Mark plays it towards the semicircle. Called a dangerous ball, and that will bring a close to the third quarter play. Hornets score twice, stretch the lead up to 3-0, firmly in the driver's seat over Eastern Mennonite. We'll step aside, come back with the final stanza between the Royals and the Hornets on LHSN.
Never think that your donation is in vain, because you're helping out hundreds of students that are just like me, who need a shot and who are getting one. Without donations, without you individuals that are helping to donate to the university and the Lynchburg Fund, there would be no student body president Davion Washington. There'd probably be I'm stuck at home, Davion Washington. Not only is your donation building leaders, but it's building leaders like myself and others that will hopefully want to pay it forward one day and do the same thing. I know for a fact that, when I have it, because I will, I want to give back to this university that provided me a home for 4 years.
When you come to the University of Lynchburg to earn a master's degree in athletic training, you'll spend time in the classroom, but you'll also spend a lot of time in our top-notch facilities learning from athletic trainers and working closely with our student athletes. In the Graduate Cadaver Lab, you'll learn about the human body in the best way possible, by actually studying the human body. This will provide a foundation to make you a much better athletic trainer. In the athletic training laboratory, you'll get hands-on experience, practicing your skills, applying concepts from the classroom, and working with faculty on research projects. It's also where our hydrotherapy facilities are. This space is also used by students for studying and practicing skills outside of class time. In the Sports Medicine Clinic and Turner Gymnasium, you'll work with student athletes from more than 20 NCAA Division III sports teams, helping get them back to practice and into the game as soon as possible. As an athletic training student, you're a big part of the success of our sports teams and the success of the local athletic teams. We see this relationship as a win-win situation. You learn, and that helps us win.
We're underway for the fourth quarter between Lynchburg and Eastern Mennonite. Hornets out in front of the Royals, 3-0. Two scores coming in the third quarter play. Jackie Laro assisted Brittany Clayball for the first of those two goals, and then Laro did it all by herself for the latter. First goal tonight came back in the first half from Madison Marker. First collegiate shot and goal. Certainly plenty of Hornets in a running for our LHSN Player of the Match. I'll stick around to see who we give that accolade to. Meanwhile, Eastern Mennonite, it's going to take a whole lot to try to overcome the 3-goal deficit, but If you can't do that, try to find some positive momentum. End this game on a high note. Moral victories don't pay bills for sure, but if you can take something from the night and help build upon it moving forward, you set yourself up in a spot where next game is Wednesday at Virginia Wesleyan, and you're looking to snap a 3-game losing streak. So try to build some confidence, find something that works towards the end of the night, maybe find the back of the cage. The first time that EMU had scored against Lynchburg since 2016. Overall, just try to find something towards the end of this match to hang your head on. Also, without a shot, that would be a place to start. This is about as long a possession we've seen the Royals have so far on the evening, and doing so in positive territory, a welcome sign. Courtney Crawford battling with Megan Mayo. Possession awarded to Eastern Mennonite. Fed back to Cassidy Armstrong. She'll try to center it up. Elizabeth Longacre on the receiving end. Fiden has the whistle blown against her. Pass coming for Truitt, looking for Dudley. A little too hot for the Westminster, Maryland native to handle. Lynchburg, though, does keep possession. Mayo can't handle the initial pass from Truitt. Watches it roll harmlessly across the sideline. Talking more on that upcoming schedule for EMU. This upcoming Wednesday, they're at Virginia Wesleyan, as we noted. Then Saturday the 16th, at home for their homecoming game against Roanoke. And then Wednesday the 20th, they will be again on the road, heading out to Ashland, Virginia, to take on the Randolph-Macon Yellow Jackets. The upcoming slate for Lynchburg sees them in action, and also on the road on Wednesday the 13th at Washington and Lee. That's a team that Lynchburg is currently tied with atop the ODAC standings. And as I go through the schedule, Jackie Laro gets her second goal on the night. Goal number 9 on the season. Laro cannot be tamed. Lynchburg moves ahead 4-0. Dudley centers it up. And like we talked about at the opening of the broadcast, those redeflects are just so hard for any keeper to try to come up with a stop against. Second assist for Dudley on the season. And as mentioned, goal number 9 to go along with an assist earlier on the Brittany Clayball goal. So now 9 goals, 10 assists. That's good for 28 points on the season. Laro certainly paving a path towards not only being first team All-ODAC, I think you can lock that up the season into today, but certainly making a strong case for an All-American spot. She was National Field Hockey Player of the Week a couple weeks ago for her performance against Ursinus, including the game winner over the Bears. 2 goals and an assist in that match. Has the exact same stat line tonight against the Royals. And a win for Lynchburg, assuming the 4-0 score holds, would be the 7th consecutive W for this field hockey program. 1 behind the women's soccer win streak, up to 8. If you watched our Wednesday broadcast for the women's soccer team, saw a really strong showing against Randolph. Truitt gets her stick down, but might have made contact with her foot against the ball. The award possession to EMU. Keely Mitchell tried to start up the Royal possession, unable to do so. A long clear goes all the way back to Landis. Can't handle it initially. Swings it out wide for Troutman. Lynchburg back inside the shooting circle. Mayo has it poked away from behind by Troutman. The rest of that upcoming schedule, by the way, for Lynchburg after Wednesday's match at Washington and Lee, a fight for at least a tie atop the conference standings. It's then homecoming on Saturday. The first of 3 games we'll have for you on LHSN is field hockey action. The Hornets will play host to the Randolph-Macon Yellow Jackets. And then we're back at home Wednesday the 20th to take on the Ferrum Panthers. Sarah McCullum checks in. She'll come on for Megan Mayo. Hornets again back in the attacking third. Hornets run comes to a quick close. Good clear coming from Eastern Mennonite. Since Skylar Dice tracking all the way back. Now Dice working against Hedgepeth. Good battle between the two. Dice gets her stick down a couple of times as Hedgepeth tries to play it towards the shooting circle. Crawford now against Dice. Poked free by Truitt. Dice has it hit off her foot. Crawford to play off the restart. 36 shots to none. Lynchburg advantage over Eastern Mennonite, and this ball sent right to Skylar Dice. Might have hit her hand, might have been her midsection. No matter what, didn't look comfortable. Good to see Dice is okay. Truitt picks off the pass. But Lynchburg gives possession right back to EMU. 8.5 minutes left in regulation. Thank you all for spending your Friday evening with us here on LHSN. Liked what you heard? You can come back tomorrow night for some men's soccer action. Hornets playing host to Ferrum. It'll be myself and George Diamond on the headset. That game will get underway with first touch at 7 p.m. Morgan Leslie, haven't had to call her name a whole lot tonight. Centered towards the shooting circle, kicked away by Kayla Brady. First time she's seen a ball come that close to her, and the first time she's had to initiate any sort of action. She clears it across the end line. Eastern Mennonite from the attacking third gives back to Troutman. Strong hack. Gets towards the shooting circle, but Strauss is there. Dudley back to Truitt. Truitt, a senior from Delaware. Been really impressive to watch all year long. She doesn't play a position that naturally comes with a whole lot of glitz and glam. Madison Mark plays the same spot on the other side. That left and right back, they just do so much on the defensive end, but they also carry forward a ton, so you'll see them have possession across midfield and then also get in the mix on the offensive side. Not necessarily in a role to rack up shots. Neither had a shot, Mark nor Truitt coming into this one. Truitt, actually had 8. Mark had none. But Mark had the goal to score or get scoring underway back in the first half. Chance for Lynchburg. Comes to a close after penetrating deep into the attacking third and into the shooting circle. Leonis returns to the field of play. Jackie Laro kicks over to Dudley, stops. Looks like it'll be called a dangerous ball. Eastern Mennonite takes over. Caroline West has checked in. 4th game played of the year for the sophomore from Massachusetts. Laro beats 2 defenders, takes another shot. Galley there for yet another save. You can see how easy it can come for Laro trying to create space. Her first step, explosiveness, is second to none across the ODAC. Laro, again, the intended target on the pass. Trying to beat both the sideline and Galley. Has it poked free from behind. Gabrielle Purdom is going to come in. The next dead ball for Lynchburg. Freshman from Powhatan. It'll be her 5th game played this season. Purdom comes in for Kaylee Truitt. So the tie atop the ODAC conference for Lynchburg was shared with Shenandoah and then Washington and Lee. Of course, we talked about that game on Wednesday at Washington and Lee. That will certainly be a big one, but Shenandoah, their most recent game, an 11-0 win over Eastern Mennonite. Sets up a really interesting battle later on in the season between Shenandoah and Lynchburg. Hornets looking to be back-to-back ODAC champs. They went 10-0, 7-0 in conference play in the spring 2021 moved schedule last season and won the ODAC. It was the 21st time that Coach Enza Steele has done that. And Coach Steele, reigning ODAC Coach of the Year, certainly in a good position to make it back-to-back years, coming away with that award. The score were to stand. Lynchburg would improve to 8-3, get win number 7 in a row, and elevate to 3-0 inside ODAC play. Meanwhile, EMU will have dropped their third consecutive, dropped to 7-5 overall, and 0-2 inside conference play. Dudley works her way equal to Galley, and just before the rebound shot came from Emily Giannis and found the back of the cage, whistle was blown, ending the run for Lynchburg. 40 shots now for Lynchburg, none for Eastern Mennonite. EMU in the preseason poll pick to finish 7th. Lynchburg was the preseason pick to win the conference. Clay ball from McCollum. Cleared away, at least for a moment, by Troutman. Picked up by Laro. Beats 2 defenders. Nearly gets past a third. Collides with that third defender, and Laro is down. As is a EMU Royal. Here's a look at that last play once again. Some head-to-head contact there. That is nothing you want to see, especially late in this contest. And it looks like it was Troutman colliding with Laro. Two players that have done a whole lot for both sides tonight, so hopefully everyone is okay. Laro stays out on the field. The play results in yet another penalty corner chance for Lynchburg. Strauss to insert. Hacks it back to Giannis, who has it slip under her stick. Japezi picks it up. Then ultimately has it jarred loose. Gathered by Longacre. Spin move coming from the sophomore. Possession immediately given right back to Lynchburg. Caroline West winning that battle. Nice move, Giannis. Just outside the shooting circle. Draws some contact, and another penalty corner is awarded to the Hornets. It was close. Nearly happened just outside the shooting circle, but official comes in. Points to the cage, signifying PC on its way. Again, Strauss to the end line. Doing so on the near side. Giannis takes the shot, kicked away by Galley. Another chance, propped up. Aaron Boatwright just flanking the far side post. Almost got a stick on it, but the whistle was blown, and another penalty corner will be on the way for Lynchburg. Another look at the near scoring chance. Big cut on the play from Emily Dudley. Came up empty. That's happened a few times on the night. Penalty corner again coming from the near side. Pass to Clay ball. Kicked over. Laro for Giannis. Shot fake. Defended well by Keely Mitchell. And EMU earns the stop. Franca Veranek is going to check in now for Jackie Laro with just under 2 minutes left to be played. Another near scoring chance for Lynchburg. And now we can present our LHSN player of the match. Jackie Laro always in contention for this award, but we decided to give it to Madison Mark. First collegiate goal for the freshman. First collegiate shot as well. But a big moment, and it's what ultimately broke the ice and got Lynchburg into the scoring column. And then after that, once the Hornets were able to regroup at halftime, 3 more goals coming in the second set of 30 minutes. But it was Madison Mark getting the scoring underway. Clayball nearly able to beat Galley to the near side. But instead, deflected across the end line. Lynchburg will keep possession in the attacking third, but 50 seconds and counting left to be played. Clayball dribbles ahead. Whistle blown. Penalty corner. Stops the clock with 42.7 seconds left to go. You see how close Veranek was from coming through and making it 5-0 Lynchburg. Strauss's pass goes to Giannis, sends it outside the circle, now dribbles back in. Draws plenty of attention from Keeley Mitchell, and EMU gets another stop. That was the 17th penalty corner on the night, by the way, for Lynchburg. So once again, if you're just joining us, we're down under 12 seconds. Game time left. EMU has dropped their third consecutive. All the 7-5 overall, 0-2 in ODAC play. And they'll be back in action this upcoming Wednesday again on the road at Virginia Wesleyan. Meanwhile, as the final buzzer sounds, it's official. A 7-game win streak for Lynchburg, elevating the Hornets to 8-3 on the season, 3-0 in ODAC play, guaranteeing them another day, at least a tie to top the ODAC standings. And you can see the Hornets back in play for a huge game Wednesday the 13th at Washington and Lee. Again, Madison Mark, our LHSN player of the match. And that will do it for us from Schellenberger Field. I want to say thank you all for tuning in this Friday evening for this field hockey match coming to you on LHSN. For my director, Sam Rice, and the rest of our fantastic LHSN production crew, my name's TJ Winger. And until next time, we are signing off.